Hi, my name is Tita, and the biofuel that I am going to be talking about is vegetable oil. So, what is vegetable oil? It is a first generation biofuel, and what first generation biofuel means is that it is a biomass related biofuel and it is also edible. So, where does vegetable oil come from? It comes from the seeds of plants, and it's not just any plants. And here are a few examples where those seeds come from. It they're olives, coconuts, and sunflower seeds. And all of these seeds contain oil in them, and that's where the vegetable oil comes from. So each of these plants are different, and because they are different, they are cultivated and grown differently, and they vary. Um, and again, vegetable oils comes from the seeds. So the oils from those seeds are extracted, and that's how you get vegetable oil. Now the production. So vegetable oil has been made for over a millennia, and back then they would either heat up or pound the plants into a paste, and that's how they would do it back then. But now, since technology is more advanced, we use chemical extraction processes in order for the process to become much easier and much more effective in making vegetable oil. And the picture as seen here, it's just giving you a visual on how the vegetable oil is made. So the seeds go through a cleaning process, and then they grind them, and then they press them, and then so on and so forth. There's so much that goes into the production. So the seeds go through a cleaning process, and the skin is removed from their surface. So once that is done, they are crushed and then heated, and then they would be gradually pressed with increasing pressure. So think of a juicer, basically. And once the material is crushed, the solvents are then added in order to dissolve the remaining oil that is in that material. And basically, the oil needs to be dissolved. And then later, the material is then refined. So this means that it is added to some alkali substance, and then the oil is heated in a 185 degrees Fahrenheit, and then the pigment is removed and filtered, and water or acid is added to the oil to remove any phospholipids from the oil. And then lastly, the oil is deodorized, so that means there's steam that goes through the oil. So after the material is refined, the oil is packaged. And depending on how the process is and the production goes, the production varies, but the process and everything is still relatively standard and is the same, but it's just it varies. And then depending on how much oil you want and how much oil is going to be used, some of the processes require additional steps in refining, such as adding citric acid or rapidly just chilling the oil. So as the development status goes, vegetable oil is used all around the world, mainly because we use it for cooking, and so it is widely available for everyone to use. So as of October 2020, scientists are trying to find new materials to make vegetable oils, and they're also finding new ways to manufacture vegetable oils. So it's not like that same process, or it may be the same process, but just different. So the impact on the carbon footprint of vegetable oil is that they go through immense amount of deforestation in order to plant the vegetable oil crops, which leads to like less biodiversity, and there is a lot of harmful emissions. And in 2020, it is shown that in 2020 there has been about 2.6 million tons of carbon dioxide from the loss of forests, which doubles the amount of carbon dioxide that is emitted from the cars in the United States in typically a year. And it is also shown that the carbon dioxide emissions are about 5 to 25 times much more higher than the major agricultural crops. And all of this is due to the deforestation just to plant these vegetable oil crops. And this chart right here just shows how much vegetable oil is being consumed worldwide. So the efforts to communicate the use of vegetable oil is, again, since vegetable oil is used worldwide for cooking, but also for many things, the use of it is pretty high and it's common among households. So using vegetable oil is just pretty common around everyone. So from the data that I collected and I researched, making of vegetable oil is much more harmful to the environment than what I expected. And even though it is widely available for everyone, I feel like there are or there can be alternatives into making vegetable oil and how it should be used without damaging the environment. So as a plan, I maybe try to use alternatives for vegetable oil so that way the emissions from growing the vegetable oil crops can be less, and then just find alternative ways to grow the vegetable oil crops. And here's my works cited. Thank you, everyone.